दौर्भाग्यतूलवातूला जराध्वान्तरविप्रभा भाग्याचितस्त्रिका भक्तचित्तकेकी घनाघना रोगपर्वतदम्भोळिमुच्युदारकुठारिका महेश्वरी महाकाली महाव्यासा महासना अपर्णा चण्डिका चण्डमुण्डासुरनिशूदिनी शराशरात्मिका सर्वलोकेशी विश्वधारिणी त्रिवर्गधात्री सुखा क्षेमका त्रिगुणात्मिका स्वर्गापवर्गदा शुद्धा पुष्पनिभाकृतिः ओजोवती द्युतिधरा यज्ञरूपा प्रियप्रदा दुराराध्या दुरादर्शा पाटली कुसुमप्रिया महती निर्मलया मंदार कुसुमप्रिया वीराराध्या विराटरूपा गिरिजा शिष्टमुखी प्रत्यग्रूपा पराकाशा प्राणदा प्राणरूपिणी मार्ताण्डभैरवाराध्या मंत्रिणी न्यस्तराज्यधूः त्रिपुरेशी जयत्सेना निस्तैगुण्या परापरा सत्यज्ञानानन्दरूपा सामरस्यपरायणा कपर्दिनी कलामाला कामधुक्कामरूपिणी कलानिधिः काव्यका रसज्ञानरसेवलिः पुष्टा प्रार्थना पूजा पुष्करा पुष्करेक्षणा परज्योतिः परधामा परमाणुपरापरा पाशहस्ता पाशतन्त्री परमन्त्रविधेयिनी मूर्ता मूर्ता नित्यतृप्ता मुनिमानसंस्थिका सत्यव्रता सत्यरूपा सर्वान्तर्यामिनी सती ब्रह्माणी ब्रह्मणी बहुरूपा बुधार्चिता प्रसवित्री प्रचण्डाज्ञा प्रतिष्ठा प्रकटाकृतिः प्राणेश्वरी प्राणदात्री पंचाशतरूपिणी विश्वंकला विविक्तसा वीरमाता वियत्प्रसूः मुकुन्दा मुक्तिनिलया मूलविग्रहरूपिणी भावज्ञा भवरोगग्नि भवचक्रप्रवर्तिनी शास्त्रसारा मंत्रसारा तलोदरी उदारी विरुद्धामयभवा वन्यरूपिणी जन्ममृत्युजातक्तशान्तिदायिनी सर्वोपनिषदुद्घुष्टा शान्तिनीतकलात्मिका गंभीरा गगनान्तस्था गर्भिता गानलोलुपा कल्पनाहिता काष्ठा कांता कांतार्धविग्रह कार्यकारण निर्मुक्ता कामकेली तरंगिता कनक कनकता कंका लीला विग्रहधारिणी अजाक्षेम निर्मुक्ता मुग्धा शिवप्रसादिनी अंतर्मुख समाराध्य बहिर्मुख सुदुर्लभा त्रयी त्रिवर्गनिलया त्रिस्ता त्रिपुरमालिनी निरामया निरालंबा स्वात्मा रामा सुधास्मृतिः संसार पंक निर्मग्न समुद्धरण पंडिता यज्ञप्रिया यज्ञकर्त्री यजमान स्वरूपिणी धर्माधारा धनाध्यक्षा धनधान्य विवर्धिनी विप्रप्रिया विप्ररूपा विश्वभ्रमणकारिणी विश्वव्यासा विभ्रमाभा वैष्णवी विष्णुरूपिणी अयो निर्योनिलया भूतस्था कुलरूपिणी वीरगोष्ठीप्रिया लीला निष्कन्या नादरूपिणी विज्ञानकलनाकल्या विदग्धा वैन्दवासना तत्त्वाधिका तत्त्वमयी तत्त्वमद्धस्वरूपिणी सामगानप्रिया सौम्या सदाशिवकुटुम्बिनी सव्यान संयमाग्रस्था सर्वापत्तिनिवारिणी स्वस्था स्वभावमधुरा धीरा धीर समर्चिता चैतन्याग्र समाराध्या चैतन्य कुसुमप्रिया सदोदिता सदा दुष्टा तरुणादित्य पाटला दक्षिणा दक्षिणाराध्या तस्मै अनुमुखाम्बुजा गौरिणी केवला अनघ्या कैवल्य प्रदायिनी स्तोत्रप्रिया स्तुतिपति शुद्धसंस्कृतवैभवा मनस्विनी मानवती महेशी मंगलाकृतिः विश्वमाता जगद्धात्री विशालाक्षी विरागिनी प्रकल्पा परमोदारा परामोदा मनोमयी व्योमकेशी विमानस्था वज्रिणी वामकेश्वरी पंचयज्ञप्रिया पंचप्रेत पंचाधिशायिनी पंचमी पंचभूतेशी पंचसंख्योपचारिणी शाश्वती शाश्वतैश्वर्या शर्मदा शंभुमोहिनी धराधरस्था धन्या धर्मिणी धर्मवर्धिनी लोकातीता गुणातीता सर्वातीता शमात्मिका बंधुककुसुमप्रज्ञा बाला लीला विनोदिनी सुमंगले सुरगणे सुरेशाख्या सुवासिनी सुवासिन्यच्चनप्रीता शोभना शुद्धमानसा विद्युदर्पण संतुष्टा पूर्वजा त्रिपुराम्बिका समाराध्या त्रिपुराश्री वशंकरी ज्ञानमुद्रा ज्ञानगम्या ज्ञानज्ञेयस्वरूपिणी योनिमुद्रा त्रिगण्डेशी त्रिगुणाम्बा त्रिकोणगा अनघाभृतचारित्रा वाञ्छितार्थप्रदायिनी अभ्यासातिशयज्ञाता जगद्भातीतरूपिणी अव्याजकरुणामूर्तिरज्ञानध्वान्तदीपिका आवारोपविदा सर्वानुल्लङ्घ्यशासना श्रीचक्रराजनिलया श्रीमत्त्रिपुरसुन्दरी आवारोपविदा सर्वानुल्लङ्घ्यशासना श्रीचक्रराजनिलया श्रीमत्त्रिपुरसुन्दरी आदिशिवा आवारोपविदा सर्वानुल्लङ्घ्यशासना श्रीचक्रराजनिलया श्रीमत्त्रिपुरसुन्दरी श्री शिवा शिवशक्ति दैत्यरूपिणी ललिताम्बिका एवं श्रीललितादेव्या नाम्नां सहस्रकं जगुः इति श्रीब्रह्माण्डपुराणे उत्तरखण्डे श्रीहयग्रीवागस्त्यसंवादे श्रीललितारहस्यनामसहस्रस्तोत्रकथनं नाम द्वितीयोऽध्यायः। सर्वं श्रीपरमेश्वरार्पणमस्तु। ॐ उपैतु महान् देवसखत्केतिश्च मणिना सह प्रादुर्भूतोऽस्मि राष्ट्रेऽस्मिन् कीर्तिमुद्धिं ददातु मे। ॐ ह्रीं नमः शिवाय। ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्री श्रीमात्रे नमः। महाकाली महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती देवताभ्यो नमः। वस्त्रयुग्मं समर्पयामि। ज्येष्ठाय नमः। वस्त्रयुग्मं समर्पयामि। क्षुत्पिपासामलानं ज्येष्ठामलक्ष्मीं नाशयाम्यहम् अभूतिमसमुद्धिं च सर्वा निर्नदमे गृहात्। ॐ ह्रीं नमः शिवाय। ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं श्रीमात्रे नमः। महाकाली महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती देवताभ्यो नमः। श्रेष्ठाय नमः। यज्ञोपवीतं धारयामि। रुद्राय नमः। रुद्राय नमः। आभरणान् समर्पयामि। गन्धद्वारान्धुरादर्शां नित्यपुष्टां हरिषिणीं ईश्वरीं सर्वभूतानां तां योमहत्वैश्वर्यम्। ॐ ह्रीं नमः शिवाय। ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं श्रीमात्रे नमः। महाकाली महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती देवताभ्यो नमः। श्रीकालाय नमः। श्रीगन्धान् धारयामि। कलविकरणाय नमः। अक्षतान् समर्पयामि। मनसः काममापूतिं वाच सत्यमसीमहि। पशूनां रूपमन्नस्य मयि श्रीश्रेयतां यशः। ॐ ह्रीं नमः शिवाय। ॐ ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं श्रीमात्रे नमः। बलविकरणाय नमः। पुष्पाणि पूजयामि। ॐ निधनपतये नमः। निधनपदान्तिकाय नमः। ऊर्ध्वाय नमः। ऊर्ध्वलिङ्गाय नमः। हिरण्याय नमः। हिरण्यलिङ्गाय नमः। सुवर्णाय नमः। सुवर्णलिङ्गाय नमः। दिव्याय नमः। दिव्यलिङ्गाय नमः। भवाय नमः। भवलिङ्गाय नमः। सर्वाय नमः। सर्वलिङ्गाय नमः। शिवाय नमः। शिवलिङ्गाय नमः। ज्वलाय नमः। ज्वललिङ्गाय नमः। आत्माय नमः। आत्मलिङ्गाय नमः। परमाय नमः। परमलिङ्गाय नमः। एतत्सोमस्य सूर्यस्य सर्वलिङ्गस्थापयति पाणिमन्त्रं पवित्रं सज्जोजातं प्रपज्यामि। सज्जोजाताय वै नमो नमः। भवे भवे नाति भवे भवस्व मां। भवोद्भवाय नमः। वामदेवाय नमो। ज्येष्ठाय नमः। श्रेष्ठाय नमो। रुद्राय नमः। कालाय नमः। कलविकरणाय नमो। बलविकरणाय नमो। बलाय नमो। बलप्रमदनाय नमः। सर्वभूतदमनाय नमो। मनोन्मनाय नमः। अघोरेभ्यो घोरेभ्यो घोरघोरतरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वसर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते अस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्रः प्रचोदयात्। ईशानः सर्वविद्यानाम् ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपतिर्ब्रह्मणोऽधिपतिर्ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवो। नमो हिरण्यवागवे हिरण्यवर्णाय हिरण्यरूपाय हिरण्यपतये अम्बिकापतये उमापतये पशुपतये नमो नमः। कृतं सत्यं परं ब्रह्म पुरुषं कृष्णपिङ्गलम् ऊर्ध्वरेतं विरूपाक्षं विश्वरूपाय वै नमो नमः। सर्वो वै रुद्रस्तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु। पुरुषो वै रुद्रः सन्महो नमो नमः। विश्वं भूतं भुवनं चित्रं बहुधा जातं जायमानं च यत् सर्वोऽख्येष रुद्रस्तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु। कद्रुद्राय प्रचेतसे मीदुष्टमाय तन्यसे वोचेम शन्तमगुं हृदे सर्वोऽख्येष रुद्रस्तस्मै रुद्राय नमो अस्तु। ॐ शान्ति शांति शांति शांति। आयि आनंदवल्ली अमृतकृतली आदिशक्ति पराये माया माया स्वरूपे स्फटिकमणिमयी मामतंगी षडंगी ज्ञानी ज्ञानस्वरूपी नंद परिमళी नाद ओंकार योगी योगी योगासनस्था भुवनवशकरी सौंदरी ऐं नमस्ते बाला मंत्रे कटाक्षी मम हृदय सखी मुक्त भाव प्रचंडी व्याली यज्ञोपवीति विकटकटितटी वीरशक्ति प्रसादे बाले बालेन्दु मौले मदगजभुजस्ताभिषेत्री स्वतंत्री काली त्वां कालरूपी कंकलहृदि कारिणी क्लीं नमस्ते मूलाधारे महीम्नि हुतपखनैनी मूलमन्त्री त्रिनेत्री हाराख्ययूरवल्ली गणसृगरी अंबिकाया शिवाय वेदे वेदान्तरूपे वेदधगणगति वीरतन्त्री भवानी शौरी संसार योनि सकल गुणमयी तेभ्य श्रीं सौः नमस्ते ऐं क्लीं सौः सर्वमन्त्रे भवोर्षुभदा अङ्गना च स्थिताय श्रीं ह्रीं क्लीं बीजमुखे दिनकरकरणे ज्योतिरूपे शिवाख्ये ह्रां ह्रीं ह्रूं हेमवर्णा हिमकरकरणा भासमानेन्दुचूडे क्षां क्षीं क्षौं क्षौवासे सकल जयकरी शक्ति बाले नमस्ते सकल जयकरी शक्ति साई नमस्ते सकल जयकरी शक्ति साई नमस्ते ओम ज्ञानां विजेतां श्री देवी भगवती सा बलादाकृष्य मोहाय महामाया प्रेक्षति दुर्गे स्मृता हर्षवीर्मशेषजन्त स्वच्छे स्मृता मतिपति शुभान् ददासि दारिद्र्यत्वैहारिकात्मन्या सर्वोपकारकरणाय सदा अग्रचित्ता सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते शरणागतदीनात्मपरित्राणपरायणे सर्वस्याद्यहरे देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशी सर्वशक्ति समन्विते भयेभ्यस्त्राहिनो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते रोगान् शेषानमुखं चतुष्टानुष्ठान् कामान् सकलानभीष्टान् त्वामाश्रितानां नरवन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिताख्या श्रेतां प्रयान्ति सर्वबाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यशाकिलेश्वरी एवमेव त्वया कार्यमस्मदु वैरी विनाशनम् ॐ ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डाय विच्चे स्वाहा ॐ ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुण्डाय विच्चे नमः सर्वबाधा प्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी एवमेव त्वया कार्यमस्मद्वैरी विनाशनं चेय्यै चामुण्डायै क्लीं ह्रीं ऐं ओम आनंदमयी चैतन्यमयी सत्यमयी परमे ओम आनंदमयी चैतन्यमयी सत्यमयी परमे ओम आनंदमयी चैतन्यमयी सत्यमयी परमे बुद्धे फलम यशो धैर्यं निर्भयत्वं अरोगता अजाड्यं वाक्पटुत्वं च हनुमत् स्मरणा भवेत् ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
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 भगवत सुग्रीव हनुमत सीता लक्ष्मण भक्त शत्रुघ्न परिवार समेत श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमो नमः कर्तव्येन प्रजाभूता मयि संभवकर्तमः श्रियं वासय मे कुले मातरं पद्ममालीम् ओम ह्रीं नमः शिवाय
ओम ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं श्रीमात्रे नमः
बला महाकाली महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती देवताभ्यो नमः बलाय नमः धूपमाघ्रापयामि आपसृजन्तु सिद्धानि चित्ते तव समे गृहे
निजदेवी मातरं श्रियं वासय मे कुले
ओम ह्रीं नमः शिवाय
ओम ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं श्रीमात्रे नमः
ओम महाकाली महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती देवताभ्यो नमः बलप्रमथनाय नमः ज्ञानप्रकाशार्थं प्रत्यक्षदीपं दर्शयामि ओम आद्रां पुष्करीं पुष्टिं पिङ्गलां पद्ममालिनीं चन्द्रां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः
ओम ह्रीं नमः शिवाय ओम ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं श्रीमात्रे नमः
महाकाली महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती देवताभ्यो नमः सर्वभूतदमनाय नमः इति नैवेद्यम् ओम भूर्भुवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ऋतं त्वा सख्येन परिषिञ्चामि अमृतमस्तमृतोपस्तरणमसि ओम पञ्चादशसु भगवान् श्री सत्यसाईश्वराय नमः पंचमुखेश्वर स्वामिने नमः महाकाली महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती देवताभ्यो नमः अवसरार्थं भक्ष्य भोज्यले शीतोष्णपेयात्मक मधुर फलं निवेदयामि। ओम प्राणाय स्वाहा, ओम अपानाय स्वाहा, ओम व्यानाय स्वाहा, ओम उदानाय स्वाहा, ओम समानाय स्वाहा, ओम ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा। मध्ये मध्ये पानीं समर्पयामि, वृक्षालयामि, पादौ वृक्षालयामि, शुद्धाजलं समर्पयामि, उत्तरापोषणं समर्पयामि। आद्राम्यकर्णीं निष्ठिं सुवर्णां हेममालिनीं सूर्यां हिरण्मयीं लक्ष्मीं जातवेदो महावः। ओम ह्रीं नमः शिवाय, ओम ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं श्रीमात्रे नमः। महाकाली महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती देवताभ्यो नमः। मनोन्मनाय नमः। ताम्बूलं परिकल्पयामि, ताम्बूल श्रवणान्तरं शुद्ध आचमनं समर्पयामि। तां मावह जातवेदो लक्ष्मीमनपगामिनीं यस्यां हिरण्यं प्रभूतं गावो दास्योऽश्वान् विन्देयं पुरुषानहम्। अघोरैर्नीराजनम् ओम अघोरेभ्यो तघोरेभ्यो घोरघोरतरेभ्यः सर्वेभ्यः सर्वसर्वेभ्यो नमस्ते अस्तु रुद्ररूपेभ्यः। श्रीकान्ताय कल्याणधेयेभ्यः श्रीवेङ्कटनिवासाय श्रीनिवासाय मङ्गलम्। मङ्गलं कोसलेन्द्राय महीर्गुणात्मने चक्रवर्ति तनूजाय सार्वभौमाय मङ्गलम्। मङ्गलं गुरुदेवाय मङ्गलं ज्ञानदायिने मङ्गलं पत्तिवासाय मङ्गलं सत्यसायिने उमाकान्ताय कान्ताय कामितार्थप्रदायिने श्रीगिरीशाय देवाय मल्लिनाथाय मङ्गलं। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। ओम आनंदकपूर्ण श्रीराजनं सुन्दर्श्यां नीराजनान्तं शुद्ध आचमनं समर्पयामि। हर नमः पार्वतीपतये हर महादेव हर शंभो शंकर। ओम नमः शिवाय। जय आदिपराशक्ति की जय। श्रीभद्रमारमण गोविंदो। ओम यस्य प्रेतो भूत्वा जुयाराज्यमन्वहं श्रियं पंचदशं च श्रीकामसदनं जपेत्। महादेव्यै च विद्महे विष्णुपत्न्यै च धीमहि तन्नो लक्ष्मी प्रचोदयात्। कात्यायनाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो दुर्गे प्रचोदयात्। हंसाय विद्महे परमहंसाय धीमहि तन्नो हंस प्रचोदयात्। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे महादेवाय धीमहि तन्नो रुद्र प्रचोदयात्। साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्व प्रचोदयात्। श्रीनिवासाय विद्महे सच्चिदानन्दाय धीमहि तन्नः साई प्रचोदयात्। पादारविन्दयोः सुवर्णदिव्यमन्त्रपुष्पं समर्पयामि। ईशानः सर्वविद्यानामीश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपतिर्ब्रह्मणोऽधिपतिर्ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवो। प्रार्थपूर्वक नमस्कारान् समर्पयामि। यस्य स्मृत्यादिनामोच्चर्व पूजां क्रियासु न्यूनं सम्पूर्णतां याय सद्यो वन्दे तमच्युतं। मन्त्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं शक्तिहीनं परमेश्वर यत्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तस्य नया ध्यानावाग्ना षोडशोपचार पूजयान् भगवान् सर्वात्मकः। एतत्फलं पंचमुखेश्वर स्वामी पंचायतनस्रु भगवान् श्री सत्यसाईश्वर महाकाली महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती देवता दिव्य चरणारविन्दार्पितमस्तु। व्रतं सुकृतमस्तु। सर्वे जनाः सुजनो भवन्तु। सर्वे सुजना सुखिनो भवन्तु। धर्मस्य जयोस्तु धर्मस्य नाशोस्तु प्राणो सद्भावनास्तु। विश्वस्य कल्याणमस्तु विश्वस्य कल्याणमस्तु विश्वस्य कल्याणमस्तु। ओम यदक्षरपदं भ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देव नारायण नमोस्तुते। विसर्गबिन्दुमात्राणि पदपादाक्षराणि च न्यूनानि चातिरिक्तानि क्षमस्व साईश्वर। अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व साईश्वर। अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मात् कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष रक्ष साईश्वर। हरि ओम तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु। स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषा। गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं।
समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु समस्तलोकाः सुखिनो भवन्तु
काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितं सज्जनाः सन्तु निर्भया अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधराः सधराः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। ओम शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये व्यासं वसिष्ठवक्तारं शक्तेः पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकतातन्तपोनिधिं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। आपदामपहर्तारं दातारं सर्वसंपदां लोकाभिरामं श्रीरामं भूयो भूयो नमाम्यहं। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके देवी नारायणी नमोस्तुते। ओम साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। ओम जयंती मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा धात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते तव कथामृतं तप्त जीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमंगलं श्रीमदाधतं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ते भूरिदा जनाः। ओम ऐं ह्रीं श्रीं श्रीमात्रे नमः। We are studying Devi Mahatmyam or Devi Saptashati, 700 slokas in Markandeya Purana, one of the 18 Puranas that Bhagavan Vyasa has given to humanity, so that by studying these scriptures and understanding the inner significance of these scriptures, they will realize who they truly are. They will be going from who they think, who we think we are, to who others think we are, to truly who we are. Those three are different. I hope you are connecting to me. If you are not connecting, I will make sure you connect by tomorrow. The things that we think, who we are. The things, what we think, who others think who we are. That's where we stop. Those are the only two things. We are stuck there only. Two things. The one who we think, who we are. The one others think who we are. Devi Mahatmyam, if you are following me since day one, is very beautifully elaborating on those two aspects. How thinking who we are, and how others think who we are, how are those two things influencing our life, and how to go beyond from these two to who we truly are. If you look at all our life, it is managed by 8 guys, 8 characters. These 9 characters, I'm sorry. 9 characters are managing our life. And these 9 characters are responsible for who we think who we are, and who others think who we are. Understood? Who are these 9 characters? Let's go through their names, please.
Madhu.
No. Madhu. Yes, yeah. Madhu. Kaitava. Mahishasura.
Dhumralochana,
Dhumralochana, Chanda,
Munda,
Raktabija, Shumbha. Yeah, very good. You understood the characters. These 9 names are very important. If you actually understood the inner meaning of each of these names, very beautifully you will understand who these characters are within us. Without any question. Madhu means the one who desires for everything and thinks happiness is outside. That is Madhu. Madhu means sweetness. Madhusudana means the one who has eliminated that aspect. Madhusudana. Sudana means the one who eliminated him. Madhusudana, Vishnu, who was killed by Madhu. Madhu and Kaitava were killed by Vishnu. Therefore he is called Madhusudana. Madhusudana, whenever you say Madhusudana, Madhusudana, what he is doing? This Madhusudana means, array, you are craving for something outside to seek happiness outside. That craving is eliminated. Huh? Very beautifully Bhagavan says, you see, the dog, an old dog. Once I was asking Swami, how is it that you tell me that Ananda is in some Atma and all that stuff, but I eat this mango, I get fantastic happiness, and I eat this ice cream, I am in bliss. I see a movie, I am in Ananda. What is more Ananda than this kind of Ananda, Swami? Then Swami explained very beautifully. Gunta degra kukka guchurundra. She was telling me in Telugu. There is a dog sitting near a ditch, and this dog finds a old bone. And when this dog finds this bone, this old dog is trying to bite upon this bone. Because its teeth are a little bit loose, what happens? Because it's fighting so hard, a little bit of blood will come from its teeth. Now this dog is thinking the blood is coming from the bone. It doesn't realize the blood is coming from its own tooth. Now it licks a little more and it bites. More blood comes. Oh my God, this bone is so incredible. It keeps biting on this bone and enjoying sucking, and then it gets lost. That is your life, he said. You bite on something, you get something, and oh, happiness is in the job. Happiness is in this car. Happiness is in this. Happiness is... So what you have done? Madhusudana. You are tasting something sweet from outside, not knowing that that happiness is coming within you. Madhusudana. He will eliminate that aspect of it. Understand? Now, next characters, Kitaka means insect. Kaitabha means he is like an insect. He is a pest on everything. This fellow is like a pest. He is a pest on every aspect. This Kitaka aspect, the insect aspect of it, which is to become a pest, means what? Dependence on somebody else. That is what is called Kitaka, insect. Therefore, eliminates dependent on others. Therefore, you become independent, not out-dependent. Independence doesn't mean you got freedom, brothers and sisters. When you become truly dependent on your indweller, on inside, then you are independent. Until then, you are bound. Now that is Kitaka, Kaitava. Now you see, the next stories, characters are welcome. Why I am saying like this? These characters that are described here are not some enemies sitting outside and now they are terrorists, we have to go bomb them and take care of them. No, these terrorists are inside. More and more in the world, the terrorists have inside. And instead of eliminating these terrorists inside, we go to eliminate the terrorists outside. What Devi Mahatyam is saying is when you connect to these characters, and when each of these characters, shoots up, now you have awareness. Hey, Madhu is raising. Hey, Kaitaba is raising. Munda is raising. All these guys, all these characters you will be able to recognize. By doing so, what happens? You will go beyond who you are and who others think who you are to truly who you are. Now we are going to 9th chapter. Now in the 9th chapter, the mother slays Nishumbha. The king Suratha said, "Wonderful is this that you, adorable sir, have related to me about the greatness of the Devis acting in slaying Raktabija. I wish to hear further what the very irate Shumbha and Nishubha did after Raktabija was killed. Raja Uvacha Vichitramidamakyatam Bhagavan Bhavatamama Daivyashchirta Mahatmyam Raktabija Vadhasritam. Then the Rishi Bhuya Schechamyaham Shrotum Raktabije Nipadite Chakara Shumbho Yat Karma Nishumbhaschati Kopanaha. The Rishi said then, after Raktabija was slain and the other asuras were killed in the fight, the asura Shumbha and Nishubha gave way to unbound wrath. Rishi Ruvacha Chakara Kopamatulam Raktabije Nipadite Shumbhasuro Nishumbhascha Hateshvanyeshu Chahane. Enraged on seeing his great army slaughtered, Nishubha then rushed forward with the chief forces of the asuras. In front of him, behind him, and on both sides of him, great asuras, enraged and biting their lips, advanced to slay the Devi. Shumbha, also mighty in valor, went forward, surrounded with his own troops, to slay Chandika in this rage after fighting with the Matrus. Then commenced severe combat between the Devi on one side and the other Shumbha and Nishubha, who, like two thunder clouds, rained a most tempestuous shower of arrows on her. Chandika, with numerous arrows, quickly split the arrows shot by the two asuras and smote the two lords of asuras on their limbs with her mass of weapons. Hanyamanam Mahasainyam Vilokya Varshamadvahan Abhyadavan Nishumbhodha Mukhyaya Surasenaya Tasyagratasthadha Pushte Parshvayoscha Mahasuraha Sandashta Putah Krudahantam Devi Mupayayuhu Ajagam Mahavirjaha Shumbhopi Swabalair Vrataha Nihantam Chandikan Kopat Kritva Yuddhantumatrivihi Tato Yuddhamati Devya Shumbhani Shumbhayoh Sharavarshamativo Gram Meghayoriva Varshatoh Chichedastan Charam Stabhya Chandika Swasharot Karaih Tadaya Masacha Angeshu Shastrau Gairasureshwarau. Nishubha, grasping a sharp sword and shining shield, struck the lion, the great carrier of the Devi, on the head. When her carrier was struck, the Devi quickly cut Nishubha's superb sword with a sharp-edged arrow, and also his shield, on which 8 moons were figured. When his shield was slit and his sword too broken, the asura hurled his spear, and that missile too, as it advanced towards her, was split into 2 by her discus. Then Danava Nishubha, swelling with wrath, seized a dart, and that also, as it came, the Devi powdered with a blow of her fist. Nishumbho Nisitan Khadgam Charmachachaya Suprabham Atadayan Mutnihi Simham Devya Vahanamuttamam Tadite Vahane Devi Kshuraprenasi Muttamam Nishumbhasyasu Chicheda Charma Chapyashta Chandrakam Chinne Charmani Khadgecha Shaktim Chikshepasosuraha Samapyaschat Vidha Chakrena Bhimukagatam Kopadmato Nishumbodha Shulam Jagrahadanavaha Ayantam Mushtipatena Devi Tachapya Churna Yat. Then, brandishing his club, he flung it against Chandika. Cleft by the trident of the Devi, it also turned into ashes. Then the Devi assailed the heroic Danava, advancing with battle axe in hand, and laid him low on the ground. When his brother Nishubha, of terrific prowess, fell to the ground, Shumbha got infuriated in the extreme and strode forward to slay Ambika. Standing in his chariot and grasping excellent weapons in his long and incomparable 8 arms, he shone by, pervading the entire sky. Seeing him approaching, the Devi blew her conch and made a twang of her bowstring, which was unbearable to the extreme. Avidhyatagada sopi chikshepa chandikam prati sapidevya tishulena bhinna bhasmatmagata tatah parashuhastantayam tamayantam daityapungavam ahatya devi vanaur ghairapatayata bhutale tasmin nipatite bhumau nishumbhe bhima vikrame bhrataryativa samkruddhaha prayayo hantum ambikam saradhastadha तुच्चैर गृहीत परमायुधैः भुजैरष्टाभिरतुलैः वाप्याशेषं बभौ नभः तमायन्तं समालोक्य देवी शङ्खमवादयत् जाशब्दं चापि धनुश्च चकारातीव दुस्सहम्. And the Devi filled all directions with the ringing of her bell, which destroys the strength of all the Daitya hosts. The lion filled the heaven, the earth and the 10 quarters of the sky with loud roars, which made the elephants give up their violent rut. Then Kali, springing upwards in the sky, and struck the earth with both her hands. By its noise, all the previous sounds were drowned. Sivaduti made a loud, ominous peal of laughter. The Asuras were frightened by those sounds, and Shumbha flew into an utmost rage. As Ambika said, "O evil-natured one, stop, stop." The Devas stationed in the sky cheered her with the words, "Be victorious." पूरयामास ककुभो निज घंटास्वनेन च समस्त दैत्या सैन्यानां तेजोवद विधायिना ततः सिंहो महानादैः त्याजितेभ महामदैः पूरयामास गगनं गां तथोपदिशो दशा ततः काली समुत्पत्य गगनं क्ष्मामताडयत् कराभ्यां तन्निनादेन प्राक्स्यनास्ते तिरोहिताः अट्टट्टहासमशिवं शिवदूती चकारः त्रैः शब्दैरसुरास्त्रेषु शुम्भः कोपं परं ययौ दुरात्मं तिष्ठतिष्ठेति व्याजहारम्बिका यदा तदा जयेत्यभिहितं देवैराकाश संस्थितैः. The spear, flaming most terribly and shining like a mass of fire, which Shumbha approaching hurled was, as it was coming along, put out by a great firebrand from the Devi. The interspace between the three worlds was pervaded by Shumbha's lion-like roar, but the dreadful thunderclap of the Devi smothered that, O king. The Devi split the arrows shot by Shumbha, and Shumbha but also split the arrows discharged by her, each with her and his shot arrows in hundreds and thousands. Then Chandika became angry and smote him with a trident. Wounded therewith he fainted and fell to the ground. Then Nishumbha, regaining consciousness, seized his bow and struck with arrows the Devi and Kali and the lion. Shumbhe nagatyaya shaktir mukta jwalati bhishana ayanti vandiputabha sa nirasta maholkaya simhanadena shumbhasya vyaptam lokatrayantaram nirghatanisvano ghoro jitavanavani Shumbha मुक्तांचरा देवी शुंभस्तत्प्रहितांचरान् चिच्छेद स्वशरैरुग्रैः शतशोथ सहस्रशः ततः सा चंडिका क्रुद्ध्वा शूलेनाभिजाघानतं स तदाभिहतो भूमौ मूर्छितो निपतातः ततो निशुंभ संप्राप्य चेतनामात्तरकार्मुकः अजघानशरैर्देवीं कालीं केसरिणं तद्धाम्. Now you are all following the beautiful war. Just stay tuned to the war. Don't stay just like playing a video game. Okay? Then and the Danuja Lord, the son of Diti, putting forth the myriad arms, covered Chandika with myriad discuses. Then Bhagavati Durga, the destroyer of difficulties and affliction, became angry and split those discuses and those arrows with her own arrows. Thereupon Nishumbha, surrounded by the Daitya host, swiftly seizing his club, rushed at Chandika to slay her. And as he was just rushing at her, Chandika caught his club with her sharp-edged sword, and her took hold of a dart. As Nishumbha, the afflicter of the Devas, was advancing with the dart in hand, Chandika pierced him in the heart with a swiftly hurled dart. From Punaschakritva Bahunamaitam Danujeshwaraha Chakrayudhena Ditichaschadayamasa Chandikam Tato Bhagavati Kruddha Durga Tinasini Chichedatani Chakrani Swasaraihe Sayakamschatan Tato Nishumbho Vegena Gadamadaya Chandikam Abhyadavatabai Hantum Daitya Sena Samabdutaha Tasyapatata Evashu Gadan Chicheta Chandika Khadgena Sitadharena Sachasulam Samadade Shulahastam Samajantam Nishumbhamamarardanam Hridi Vidyadha Shulena Vega Vidhena Chandika. From Nishumba's heart that was pierced by the dart issued forth another person of great strength and valor, exclaiming at the Devi, "Stop!" Then the Devi, laughing aloud, severed the head of him who issued forth with her sword. Thereupon he fell to the ground. The lion then devoured those asuras whose necks he had crushed with his fierce teeth, and Kali and Sivaduti devoured others. Some great asuras perished, being pierced through the spear. If Kaumari, others were replaced by the water purified by the incantation of Brahmani. Others fell, pierced by a trident wielded by Maheshwari. Some were powdered on the ground by the blows from the snout of Varahi. Some Danavas were cut to pieces by the discus of Vaishnavi, and others again by the thunderbolt discharged from the palm of Aindri. Some Asuras perished themselves. Some fled from the great battle, and others were devoured by Kali, Sivaduti, and the lion. Here ends the 9th chapter called The Slaying of Nishumbha of Devi Mahatmya in Markandeya Purana during the period of Savarni, the Manu. Bhinnaschatasya shulena hrudayan nisruto aparaha mahabalo mahaviryastishteti purusho vadanu tasya nishkramato devi prahasya svanavattataha siraschedena khadgena tato asavapatadbhuvi tatah simhascha khadogra damshprakshunna sirodharan anuram stams tadha kali sivaduti tadha paran kaumari shaktinibhinna केचिन्ने शुद्महासुराः ब्रह्माणि मन्त्रपूतेन तोयेनान्ये निराकृताः माहेश्वरी त्रिशूलेन भिन्ना पेतुस्तथा परे वाराही तुण्डघातेन केचिच्चूर्णीकृता भुविः खण्डं च चक्रेण वैष्णव्या दानवाकृताः वज्रेण चैन्द्री हस्ताग्रविमुक्तेन तथा परे केचिद्विनेसुरसुराः केचिन्नष्टा महाहवात् भक्षिताश्चापरे काली शिवदूतीं मृगाधिपैः इति श्री मार्कण्डेय पुराणे सावर्णिक मन्वन्तरे देवी माहात्म्ये निशुम्भवधो नाम नवमोऽध्यायः. You see, it is easy for me to just to tell you the story, how she killed and all that stuff, because I can read English and explain it to you. The reason why I am reading these shlokas is by listening to these shlokas, our ears get purified, listening to the Bija mantras and the great secrets Bhagavan Vyasa has put in these shlokas. And we most of the time are thinking, some people ask me, look, why do I need to chant these mantras with all this painfulness? I can't even pronounce most of them. Can't I simply read it in English? Will I not get the same effect? No, you won't. Period, you won't. Even if you translate the entire Vedas into English, which is impossible, you won't get. Why? Because if you look at, when we do puja, there are certain sounds made. There is the sound of the conch, there is the sound of the bell, there is the sound associated with different, they put the damaru, they put all these things. Why are these sounds important? What is most important is listening to the sound. If you don't listen to that sound, connect to the sound, your mind will not get silenced. And therefore the sound in these Veda mantras, therefore it is called, it is Shabda Brahma. Vedas are Shabda Brahma. The scriptures are filled with this beautiful sound. Now, you think God is sleeping for him to wake up with this bell and conch and all this paraphernalia, singing arati, showing light and all this kind of... Why do we do all that stuff? Behind these rituals, there is a spirit connecting each of these rituals. That's why the word spiritual, as I often say, spiritual, spirit plus ritual is spiritual. Two words in spiritual. If you only do ritual, then you are not connected to the spirit, and therefore many youngsters and many people are lost. They only watch the ritual and they say, what is this foolishness? Why are we making such loud sound? Why do I have to listen to all of this stuff? Because you don't know the spirit behind it. There are other kinds of perverted fellows called who are in spirit. They are only in spirit and therefore they are drunk. They don't think this ritual is important. I am a spiritual person. I don't believe in any of these rituals. Go take a hike. You don't know what the ritual means. Therefore, the ritual aspect of it, see how beautiful it is celebrating the glory of the God together with the ritual. If the ritual is not there, will people bring these fruits? Will people bring the naivedya? Some bringing flowers, some bringing milk, some bringing coconut water. See, it become a collective affair of coming together and celebrating the love of God, isn't it? Yes. Therefore, spirit and ritual are very important. It is like, again, this is on a lighter note, if you are in India, there may be current. And if you have a current and you have an AC, in Chennai it is very lovely. If you have an AC and there is no current, life is hell. You have AC but no current. You have current but no AC, life is hell. Yes? Hello? If you have current and you don't have AC, you can't afford AC. Is that life hell or not? Yes? So, current and AC both are required for life to be pleasant. Similarly, if current is the spirit and ritual is the AC, turning on the AC and the AC running, so life will be beautiful with the spirit and the ritual together. Now you understand why we do this spiritual? So rituals should be banned. Some people make this. Ritual should be banned. Ritual should be banned by who? Who are you to ban any rituals? It doesn't make any sense. If there is no ritual, then people won't come together. Sit in their own home and watch TV. Now at least a few of you have come here, isn't it? Similarly, others are all in Gollu business. It's another social event going on. They don't want to disappoint who others think who you are. It's very important to show up for these social activities, otherwise nobody will come to your house next year. So you keep going to everybody's house and they come to. Now this is what is called others think who you are. Okay? That's the aspect. It is important also. I'm not mocking people going to Gollu. Please don't watch online and get mad at me. So please go to Gollu and enjoy all the sundal and everything that people are giving and be happy by eating all that stuff. I'm not stopping you. But the point I'm trying to make is the spirit and the ritual. Now people say, now how can I feel the spirit? You can't feel the spirit. Excuse me. Spirit is not an object to be felt. Is current an object to be felt? You will die. You won't report after that. Put your finger in the current and say, this is how it feels. Yeah. Good. Good luck. So spirit cannot be realized as an object. But ritual will be enjoyed by the mind and the intellect. How the ritual can be enjoyed by the mind and intellect? When we are truly collecting, you see, we are doing Devi Mahatmya Parayanam. That is the ritual. But what's the spirit behind it? Now with every character who is Nishumba, who is Shumba, who is all these characters within you, how are you connecting to this? You are connecting to what are your own limitations by the evil forces that are within you manifested. And therefore, by connecting to that inner significance, we have gone one beyond of knowing who we really are. We are not the Madhu, Kaitaba, Dhumralochana, Mahishasura, Chanda, Munda, Shumba, Nishumba, Raktabija. We are not all those characters. But yet, most of us don't even have awareness that those characters are running our life. That is the point I'm trying to make. Who this Nishumba, in this beautiful chapter, there are so many inner secrets that I can't because Mohan wants me to stop at 9, and therefore I can't go into the details of how to actually connect to the inside of it. I'm giving you like a very short description of who these characters are. But in each of these slokas, which is not the story part of it, there is inner embedded secrets about the inner nature of individual. Dhumralochana, yesterday I said. Who is Dhumralochana? Fellow who cannot see clearly. That means intellect is, how can you not see clearly? Because of the intellect is clouded. So, Dhumralochana means clouded intellect. How do you actually clear that clouded intellect? How does when the cloud is there, but when the sun shines forth, the fog is gone. Therefore, you need to invoke effulgence. So one that clears the clouded intellect is more light. And invoking that light inside is what is called Tat Savitarvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhi Yo Yo Nak Prachodayat. So when you chant the Gayatri mantra, you have invoked that resplendent effulgence, the life-sustaining force, pervading the gross, subtle, and the causal, and that light illumines your intellect, and therefore everything becomes clear. Dhumralochana means clouded intellect, confusion. What you have to do? Now you know, clouded intellect, shine more light, chant Gayatri, things will become clear. Now Gayatri also very beautiful. When you get Gayatri mantra, I tell people, my nephew got married recently, and I was telling him, when you were traveling in USA, he came recently to USA and he got, I don't think he is driving yet, but I said when you get a driver's license in America, when you sit in a car and you have to drive, you put a seat belt. Yeah? You put a seat belt. Which direction you put seat belt? Like this, no? If you are driving, which way you wear the exam? This is seat belt. That seat belt is for journey of life. This seat belt is for spiritual journey. Therefore, now this has to be worn only by Brahmins? No. Those who wants to sincerely follow the path of spiritual life, there is no restriction to have them wear this Yajnavrita. Absolutely not. No problem. But when you wear this, you have to run a spiritual, you have to have a safe journey. You have those to whom the badge is given, certain responsibilities also come with the badge. So when you wear the badge, you have to live up to that. Now Shumbha Nishumbha, in this next chapter, we'll quickly go through how the Shumbha is also slayed by the mother in the 10th chapter. Rishiruvacha, the Rishi said, seeing his brother Nishumbha slain, who was dear to him as his life, and his army being slaughtered, Shumbha angrily said, O Durga, who are puffed up with pride of strength, don't show your pride here. Though you are exceedingly haughty, you are resorting to the strength of others. Fight. So because he said you are seeking the help of all the other Matrus, so fight on your own. Then, so Rishiruvacha, Nishumbham Nihatam Drishtva, Bharataram Pranasamhitam, Hanyamanam Balancheva, Shumbha Kruddho, Abravid Dvachaha. Balapale Padustetvam Ma Durge, Garvamapaha, Anyasam Balamasritya Yudhyase Yatimanini. Now the Devi said, I am all alone in the world here. Who else is there besides me? See, O wild one, these goddesses who are but my own powers entering into my own self. She said, you fool, you think all these Matrus that are fighting, they are different from me. They are not. Look, they are all part of me. Then she showed Vishwarupa Sadarsham to this Shumbha. How Krishna had shown when Arjuna was feared, and he said, I can't kill all these people. They are my brothers, my gurus, my cousins. How can I kill my friends? How can I kill all them? Oh, you fool. You think they are separate from, they are already killed. Look at me. And when he showed, Arjuna got clarity of consciousness. Yes? Similarly here, to this Shumbha, you can imagine, mother showing Vishwarupam to this fellow. Now she is saying, I am all alone in the world here. Who else is there? Devyuvacha, Ekaivaham Jagatyatra, Dvitiya Kamamapara, Pasyaita Dushtamayeva, Vishyantyo Madvibhutayaha, Tatas Samastasta Devyo Brahmani Pramukhalayam, Tasya Devyastano Jagmur Ekaiva Sittadambika. Then all those Brahmani and the rest were absorbed in the body of the Devi. Ambika alone then remained. The Devi said, the numerous forms which I projected by my power here, those have been withdrawn by me, and now I stand alone. Be steadfast in combat. Aham vibhutya bahuriha bahubhiriha rupairya dasthita tat samhrutam mayaikaiva tishthamyajau stiro bhava. The Rishi said, then began a dreadful battle between them both, the Devi and Shumbha, while all the Devas and Asuras looked on. With showers of arrows with sharp weapons and frightful missiles. Both engaged again in a combat that frightened all the birds. Rishiruvacha Tatah Prabhavrite Yuddham Devya Shumbhasya Chobhayo Pasyatam Sarvadevanam Asuranam Chadarunam Saravarshai Sitai Shastrais Tadhastrais Chaiva Darunai Tayod Yuddhamayuk Mabhut Bhuyaha Sarvaloka Bhayankaram. Then the Lord of Daityas broke the divine missiles which Ambika discharged in hundreds that repulsed them. With fierce shout of whom and like, the Parameshwari playfully broke the excellent missiles that he discharged. Then the Asura covered the Devi with hundreds of arrows, and the Devi in wrath split his bow and with her arrows. And when the bow was split and the Lord of the Daityas took up his spear with a discus, the Devi split that spear also in this hand. Next, the supreme monarch of the Daityas, taking his sword bright like the sun and shining shield bearing the images of 100 moons, rushed at the Devi at that moment. Divyanyastran satasho muche yanyadhambika Babhanjatani Daityendra Satprati Ghatakatritihi Muktani Tena Chastrani Divyani Parameshwari Babhanja Lilayevo Graha Nkaro Charanadibihi Tatah Sarasatair Devi Machadayatasosurah Sapi Tat Kupita Devi Dhanuschiccheda Che Gavihi Chinne Dashati Daityendras Tadha Shaktimadhadade Chicheda Devi Chakrena Tamapyaschakare Stitam Tadha Khadgam Upadaya Satachandrancha Bhanumatu Abhyadavattada Devi Daityanam Adhiteshwaraha. Just as he was rushing forward, Chandika split his sword with sharp arrows shot from her bow, as was also his shield as bright as the solar rays. With his steeds slain, with his bow broken, without a charioteer, the Daitya then grasped his terrible mace, being ready to kill Ambika. With the sharp arrows, she split the mace of Shumbha, who was rushing at her. Even then, rising at his first, he rushed swiftly at her. The Daitya king brought his fist down on the heart of the Devi, and the Devi also with her palm smote him on his chest. Tasyapatatayevashu kadhanchichcheda chindika dhanurmuktai sitair banesh charmacharka karamalam hatashvas satadha daityar bhinnadhanva visaradihi jagraha mudgaram ghoram ambika nidhanodhyataha Chichedapatata tasya mudgaram nisitaishyarai tadhaviso abhyadavattam mushti mudyamya vegavan samushtim patayamasa hridaye daitya pungavaha devyastanchapisa devi taleno rasyatadayat talaprahara vigato nipapata mahitale sa daitya rajaha sakasa punareva tatodhitaha. Seizing the Devi, he sprang up and mounted on high into the sky. There also Chandika, without any support, fought with him. Then the Daitya, Shumbha and Chandika fought a never before with each other in the sky in a close contact, which wrought surprise to the Siddhas and sages. Ambika then, after carrying on a close fight for a very, very long time with him, lifted him up, whirled him around, and flung him down on the earth. Flung thus, the evil-natured Shumbha, reaching the earth and raising his fist, hastily rushed forward, desiring to kill Chandika. Utpatyacha pragrakhyo chair deving gaganamastitaha tatragsa niradhara yudhetena Chandika niyugdhanke tadha daityas Chandika cha parasparam chakrata pradhamam siddhi munivismayakarakam tato niyugdham suchiram krutva tenambika saha utpatya bhramayamasa chikshepa dharani tale sakshipto dharanim prapya mustimudyamya vegataha abhyadavata dushtatma Chandika nidhane chaya. Then, seeing the Lord of all the Daitya folk approaching the Devi, piercing him on his chest with a dart, threw him down on the earth. Pierced by the pointed dart of the Devi, he fell lifeless on the ground, shaking the entire earth with its seas, islands and mountains. When that evil-natured Asura was slain, the universe became happy and regained perfect peace, and the sky grew clear. Flaming portent clouds that were in evidence before before became tranquil, and the rivers kept within their courses when Shumbha was stricken down there. When he had been slain, the minds of all the bands of the Devas became overjoyed, and the Gandharvas sang sweetly. Others sounded their instrument, and the bands of nymphs danced. Likewise, favorable winds blew. The sun became very brilliant. The sacred fires blazed peacefully, and tranquil became the strange sound that had risen in different quarters. Here ends the 10th chapter called The Slaying of Shumbha of Devi Mahatmya in Markandeya Purana during the period of Savarni, the Manu, peace be to all. Taya Tamayantam Tato Devi Sarvadaitya Janeshwaram Jagatyam Patayamasa Vidva Surena Vakshasi Sagatasuhu Papator Vyam Devi Shulagra Vikshataha Chalayan Sakalan Kunjin Sabdhidvipam Saparvatam Tatah Prasannamakilam Hate Tasmin Duratmani Jagatsyas Stvamativapa Nirmalam Cha Bhavannavaha Utpatamegha Sholkaye Praga Samsteshamam Yayuhu Sarito Margava Hintyastadha Samstatra Patite Tato Devagana Sarve Harsha Nirbharamanasag Babhuvurnihate Tasmin Gandharva Lalitanjaguhu Avadayam Stadhavanye Nanutaschaapsaroganah Vapuh Punyastadhavatah Suprabho Abhud Divakaraha Jajwaluschagna Shanta Shantat Digjani Tasvanah. It is Sri Markandeya Purane Savarnik Manvantre Devi Mahatmye Shumbhavadho Nama Dashamodhyayah. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now we listen to the story of how Shumbha is killed. I will ask you the characters' names again. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. These are easy to understand, at least we think. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. What are those in English? Kama is Krodha is anger. Lobha is greedy. Moha is attachment. Mada is arrogance. Matsarya is jealousy. Now these are 6 that are relatively understandable, I think. I have not understood them completely yet. But at least we can relate to them. Yes, we can relate to them. But there are 3 things which you cannot even relate to. But of those, the most difficult ones to relate to separate yourself from. Now I said the one who you think you are. All these characters related to the body, they are all related to the 6 characters, they run the body, who you think you are. When you think who you are, that is your body, isn't it? Who others think who you are is? Mind. How do you understand that? How do you understand what the mind is?
Because mind works.
Yeah, how do you understand it? It is not possible to understand the mind. But it is so difficult to understand the Shumbha and Nishubha. They stand for 2 things which are very important aspects. It's a very subtle, very deep, subtle Vedanta associated with what I am saying. When you stand in front of a mirror, there are 3 things. Yes? What are the 3 things? Yourself, the mirror and the reflection. But the beauty with this math is, if you subtract 1 from 3, how much should remain? How many should remain? 2. But in this case, if you subtract 1 from the 3, 1 remains. 0, who said 0? Okay.
Remove the mirror, there is nothing.
No, it's not. You are there. Hello, excuse me. When you remove the mirror, you are still there, no? Yeah. You have not gone anywhere. So what is causing the 2? The 2 that are causing this impression, the one the reflection, and the other is the mirror. If you take the mirror out, only you remain. The mirror and the reflection are Shumbha and Nishubha. What that is the one is the reflection is caused by the mirror. It's very deep Advaita and Vedanta, actually not Advaita, it's Vedanta. In Vedantic parlance, there is only one. There are no two. But the other two are created because of the mirror. And this mirror that I am talking about are what are called antakaranas. It is one thing that appears as four. It's called Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara. Those four together, the mind, the intellect, the knower and the conscience, those four together form this mirror, and that creates the reflection. And therefore, Shumbha and Nishubha represent those two aspects which are extremely difficult to be eliminated. Now what happened? Now I will give you a little more deeper into this. If the mirror is split into 15 different pieces, your reflection is also 15 different pieces. Are you split into 15 different pieces? No. If the mirror is suited with the dust, then you can't even see your own reflection. Does it mean that you don't exist? No. So the suiting that is caused on the mirror is associated with all these kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. And what we are experiencing, actually we are thinking, if the mirror is dusted, we are thinking, oh my God, I am dusted, I am rusted, I am suffering, I am this, I am that. If the mirror is split into 15 pieces, you are experiencing, I am split, I have pain, I have this, I have that. So who are you relating to? The mirror and the reflection. We are walking around thinking we are reflections. We are not the reflections. We are the object, not the reflection. The moment you lift that veil, which is called aropana, that's it. I talked about three things associated with the mind. Mala, vikshepa, aropana. What is aropana? Aropana means something is covered. What is covered is causing you a mirage, a thinking that you are that reflection. Therefore, your entire life you run like a reflection, not like the object. Yes? Are you all connecting to the... Hello? Excuse me. Is it too deep philosophy? Is the metaphor understandable? Now how to get... If you understand the metaphor, you are aware of it, the next challenge is how to connect to it. That is in the hands of you only. Not even a guru. It's not even in the hands of a guru. We have to understand this awareness is what the guru brings. What the guru is bringing the awareness, Baba is saying, hey, you and I are one means, don't live like a reflection. Don't associate yourself with the reflection. Associate with the object. Associate with the light you are, not what the reflection it is shining upon. Now, with that, tomorrow we have a very beautiful stotram. Now these 9 guys are eliminated. 9 guys are eliminated. Then once 9 guys are eliminated, what remains is 1. What remains is 1. And that 1 is the supreme Parabrahman. And that 1 is the only one that exists. All the others are only name and form. What is that what is that one that exists? The one that exists is being, awareness, bliss, absolute. Being, awareness, bliss, absolute. Baba. The one that exists is that Satchidananda, absolute. Therefore, when we are singing the Arati to Sat Baba, what we are saying? Sada Sat Swarupam, Chidananda Kandam, Jagat Sambhavasthana, Samhara Hetum, Swabhaktechaya, Manusham Darshayantam, Namamishwaram Sadgurum, Sainagam. We are singing this now? Now when you are singing this thinking that you are praising him, but you are actually describing who you are through him. But you are telling him, Sada Sat Swarupam, Sada, always, Sat means being, embodiment of being. Chit is the awareness. Ananda is the bliss. Kandam, absolute. Always Satchidananda, absolute. And from this Satchidananda, absolute Sada Satsvarupam, Chidananda Kandam, from this one, Jagat, the one that is coming and going, Jayate, Gamayate, Iti Jagat, the one that is coming and going is Jagat. And this Jagat is what is doing? Jagat, Sambhava, Sthana, Samhara, Hetum. From this Satchidananda Swarupa, everything is evolving, resolving, dissolving. Jagat, Sambhava, Sthana, Samhara. Now, if that is the case, why does he have this form? That is the next question. Now, the one in two forms, I also yesterday talked about that. Not only one form, now two forms is even more confusing. How come he has two forms? He should be no form. No. Are a fool, because he comes, he doesn't have a form. He appears to be in a human form. Svabhakte chaya manusham darshayantam. It is because of the will of his devotees he appears to be in a human form. Namamishwaram Sadgurum Sainadam. So when people prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed, God or Satchidananda, don't even call it God, because God is even more confusing. I was giving a satsang 2 weeks ago in Quad Cities in Illinois. They were asking me, somebody asked me the question, how did the word God come into existence? What was the origin of the word God? I won't go into it now. Maybe next, some other opportunity comes, I will explain how the word God came into existence. But the point I am trying to make is, it is not an object. Baba is not an object. Baba appears in a human form because Svabhakte Chaya Manusham Darshayantam Namamishwaram Sadgurum Sainadam. But the most incredible thing about all of this is, we get stuck to the name and form because we are always revolving only in the two things, name and form, Shumbha Nishubha. Another way to look at name and form is Shumbha Nishubha. And that name and form, when it is taken away, what remains? Satchit Ananda. Even your name and form is transient, transitory. Huh? Who gave you name? You got a body. Somebody has to give an identity to that body. Therefore they gave a name. But you have now so many other forms. A father form, a brother form, a son form, a friend form, a boss form. So many different forms. So many different bodies. Every body comes up with some expectations. And when you don't deliver on those expectations, that body will be disappointed. The most important body is the husband body. That body comes with so much expectations, it is impossible to comprehend. You can never live up to that husband expectation. Therefore, you become husband. So, but the point is, you are not the body, you are nobody. You are nobody. When we use the word, I am nobody, you are acknowledging. If you are nobody, you are very happy. If you are nobody, very happy. Because there is no expectation to deliver on that. So, who you think you are, the body, which comes with identity, will basically has certain expectations because this I has a dent on it. Every time you are trying to fix the dent. So if somebody says, you are so good, you sing so well, okay, dent, you have to take the dent out. You are so beautiful, dent, take it out. Every time somebody gives you something, they are putting a dent on you. You are thinking, they are very happy with me. No, they are doing no favor to you. It is all trick, Maya. The moment somebody says, sir, how beautiful you know all these things. Where did you learn all these things? Dent. Take it out, take it away. Don't, because actually speaking, you have not learned anything with anybody. Therefore, that is the truth. So you are nobody. And then you are nothing. You are nothing means you are a thing. Means the thing that is associated with you, including money, somebody gave it value. Who gave value to the money? The mind. Isn't it? How did the Wells Fargo guy drive the stock up? Huh? By his mind only, right? make $250 million. You think Wells Fargo really has any value? Somebody gave it value and drove the stock up. And now you are caught up in this Maya. Now you circle around in all these things, the name and the form. The moment you take the name, the moment you take the form, the name is the body, the form is the mind. When you go beyond the body and the mind, therefore Bhagavan says very beautifully, now you see Bhagavan's discourses and Bhagavan's Vahinis, when you read them, when he is making these statements, those statements appear some esoteric statements, but every one of the statements is Parama Satya. But he distilled it so simply that we cannot comprehend even what he said. Therefore, Bhagavan said, body is a water bubble, it may burst any time. Mind is a mad monkey, don't rely on it. So you are not the body, you are not the mind. Who are you? You are that absolute being, awareness, bliss. And when you are that being, awareness, bliss, who are you? S-A-I, same as I. Who are you? So am I. S-A-I. How do you get to that? By putting apart I, put apart I. Put apart I, puttaparthi, it's not puttaparthi. Hello, when you look at the spelling of the word, it is put apart I, not puttaparthi. When you put apart this I and this put apart this mind, the I is the Shumbha, the mind is the Nishumbha, Nenu, Nadi. When you go beyond this Nenu, which is the reflection, the wrong identification, and the Nadi, the mind, then who are you? You are absolute being, awareness, bliss. And when we annihilated all these three aspects, Mala, Vikshepa, Avarana, which is divided into different qualities, the Mala, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, which is then there is the Moha, Mada, Matsarya, which is the Vikshepa, then the Aropana. What is that Aropana? The Aropana is Nenu Nadi, I and mind. When you get rid of that ego, the doership associated with the ego, the doer and the done, three things. Karanam, Karanam, Karta. Those three things, if you wrongly identified, when wrongly identified, Karanam, Karanam, Karta. When you take away the wrong identification of who is doing, what is being done, and the result of it, not associated with this reflection, Shumbha Nishumbha gone, who remains is the absolute Devi, Saima. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, Samasta Sanmangalani Santu. Tomorrow will be the last three chapters of closing the Devi Mahatmya. Bhagavan's grace is so immense during this Navarathri. You think it is possible that from Ganesh Chaturthi until October 1st, there was Parayana of Satcharitra here. And from October 1st till tomorrow, there is Parayana of Devi Mahatmya. And the last 2 days will be the celebration of his Prana Pratishtha. You think who planned this program? Who planned this program? Bhagavan planned this program. It is his love and grace that we have to enjoy. And if you are not able to participate in it, you have to be thinking, perhaps I didn't deserve to be participating. That's why he didn't call me. And those who participated, may God bless you, including those online, especially those in outside of Sacramento area. You are all very blessed. Om Sri Sai Ram. Tavakadhamrutam Taptajivanam Kavibhiriditam Kalmashapaham Sravanamangalam Srimadhadatam Bhuvi Ghrunantite Bhurida Janaha Om Brahmarpanam Brahmahavir Brahmagno Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva teva gantavyam
ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिना अहं वैश्वानरो भूत्वा प्राणिनां देहमाश्रितः प्राणापानसमायुक्तः पचाम्यन्नं चतुर्विधम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।